James Cook, 19 rushing attempts, 216 rush yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Now, we have grown to expect this from James Cook once utilized. Damn, I miss James Cook. I wish that we would have given him a hell of a lot more carries against New England. I wish that we would have given him a hell of a lot more carries against Atlanta. Surprise, surprise. This is what happens when you make James Cook a focal point of this offense. And what makes it even more impressive to me, Tommy, is that this was done against a top 5 run defense in the NFL. All week we were previewing, you know what? Like this Panthers team is like right in line with the Patriots, who have a very good run defense. But no, the game plan all along was to test this immediately. And I think once Buffalo started getting a taste that Cook is really leveraging the blocking scheme from the offensive line, that became the identity and that became the game script. And we were saying, all right, we are going to utilize James Cook until you stop him. Tommy, I swear, like 70% of all of the rushing attempts were a pitch, like right off to the right side. And they just couldn't stop it. And they just couldn't stop James Cook at all. Hell of a game from RB1. Talk to me.
Dude, I'm eating crow every single game from this guy because I was not on board with giving him a big contract. I was on board of re-signing him, but not for a massive contract that he wanted. Honestly, right now he's playing above his contract. Okay, the dude is getting better. It seems every game. I see improvement, and I don't even know if he's reached the ceiling. I'll be honest with you. I still think he's gonna get better. His vision has gotten so much better. His contact balance is unreal. His patience has been way better. Waiting for the holes to open and then hitting them. And his speed is it's always been there. So if the offensive linemen are, you got to give them praise too. They're opening those lines, those holes for him. And he's just executing. But dude, man, he had a monster game against a good run defense. One of the better run defenses in the NFL. So dude, without James Cook on this offense, normally we'd be sitting here like, dude, without Josh Allen, it's all Josh Allen. I got to say, it's really, I've been saying this team's only going to go as far as Josh Allen would take it. I got to add a James Cook in that as well. This team's only going to go as far as Josh Allen and James Cook can take it. These two are superstars, man, and they are beast. And James Cook is unbelievable this year. I got to give him credit.
So we're going to get to why the Buffalo Bills still need to be targeting a wide receiver at the trade deadline. But I almost ask you this, like, how important is James Cook to this offense? If, for example, Cook were to have, I don't know, like 6 or 7 more carries against, and so I know all the kids are laughing at the 6-7 reference right now. If Cook were to have, 7 to 8 more carries against New England and against the Atlanta Falcons, would we be having an entire different conversation, you think?
I don't know. Like I maybe it's possible. I'll tell you one thing they need to start doing. They haven't really gotten that. The only other thing I'll say that they need to do with James Cook and the other running backs. The other running backs, by the way, have definitely not been playing well. Thank God James Cook is being a monster because the other two we're not getting a lot from. But I want to see James Cook also involved in the passing game. Like that's one thing we haven't been doing as well. So if you were to ask me in the Atlanta game and the Patriots game, if we were to utilize James Cook more just totally in the offense as a whole, it could have been different because we're not getting anything else from the receivers, but we know what James Cook can do with the ball in his hands. So it could have been different if we also used him in the receiving game. For sure. I don't know about the running game like that. I'm not so sure about. But yeah, we just basically we need to start using him a lot more on this offense until we figure out the passing game.
Where would you rank this guy right now in the first 8 weeks of the NFL season? Because you know what, like really outside of that skid, like versus New England and versus Atlanta, and I wouldn't even say that he had rough games against either of those defenses. It's just not how the script really played out.
Right.
For some reason, we had to go on ahead and move away from it. In New England, it really didn't make sense. Atlanta made a bit more sense because that's just what the script called for.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo needed to play catch up. But like, dude has had, like 4 straight 100-yard games in a row. And then he adds up 200 this previous game. Where are you putting him in the conversation for running back rankings in the league right now?
He's second in the league. I mean, he's second in the league in general, right? He's right behind Jonathan Taylor. If you look at the stats, yards, and Taylor has played 8 games. Cook's only played 7. So right now, Taylor is 850 and Cook 753, and J.K. Dobbins is at 634. So, and all these guys have played 8 games. So I would say, honestly, right now, Jonathan Taylor is probably the best in the league right now. Yeah. But boy, James Cook is not far behind. So yeah, that's where I got the rankings. I think the stats prove it right there. But yeah, dude, James Cook is just playing out of his mind, and maybe that's why he felt like he wanted that money, right?
Yeah,
he felt like, hey, I'm going to show you, pay me, and I'm going to show you why. I was worth exactly what you're going to pay me. And he's showing it. So thank God, because that doesn't always work. That's not always the case, right? And we know this as Bills Mafia. We know we pay players and they underperform. They don't live, they don't live up to the contract. James Cook is living up to his contract and some. So, but yeah, as far as running backs in the league, he's definitely second best right now. And it's not far. They're close. That's a close race.
Now, longevity for me is a lot longer than I think Bills fans are anticipating, because we really only started utilizing him a lot last year. And by a lot, like that was still flirting with 50% of the carries, right? His snap count is a bit more than it was in 2024, but dating back into college, like he was your RB2. Like he was the guy that was exclusively like your pass game weapon. He doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires. I could very well see him. He's 26 years old. He could still, of course, say that he avoids injury. Like this guy could be this type of production through the remainder of his contract. And that's a rarity when it comes into running back. So Bills fans should be excited.
Absolutely. He's like you said in Georgia, but that was the good thing I saw. Why, I was weighing the options and why it made sense or why it didn't make sense to sign James Cook. The one thing was, like you said, he didn't have he had a lot of tread on his tires, right? He wasn't used a lot in Georgia. He wasn't used a lot when he first got here. Under 200 carries, I believe, his first couple seasons. Like we just didn't really run the ball a lot. And so, yeah, he's young, a lot of tread on the tires. He's improving week to week. So yeah, listen, barring injury, yeah, this could be a guy that gets another big contract after his contract's up for sure.
Yeah, folks, listen, thank God. So the front office didn't believe what all of us were saying, myself included, that Ray Davis could easily pick up the production that James Cook would have put out there. Thank God he's on our team. I need to go on ahead and give a giant shout out to our good friends over on Sleeper Picks. Folks, I ended up hitting an absolute home run on my player prop parlay for the Buffalo Bills and the Carolina Panthers game. I had James Cook going well over 86 all-purpose yards. He smashed that. 212 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. I also had James Cook over half of a touchdown. I also had Rico Dowdle under his specific metrics. And the Buffalo Bills had a day, and your boy walked away a winner on the personal sense. Sleeper is the best player prop platform on the market, guys. They are matching 100% of your first deposit all the way up to $100. And just signing up gets you $20, all right, just for using that link in my description. So go on ahead, show a little bit of love, and download Sleeper and send me your parlays moving forward.